Hello everyone, and welcome to the last video for the Witches Black Lent. If you are interested in knowing more about what that is, feel free to check out the link in the description down below. It will take you to a video where Trish and Jasmine discuss what that is and how you can be a part of it too if you're interested. In this video, I am going to be going over the last two prompts of the Witches Black Lent, which is the ritual component, and then my reflections on that, because what would it be without me rambling for a few minutes, right? So I struggled with this sin. If you have been watching the other videos for this year's Witches Black Lent that I've created, you will know that I definitely have been struggling with this sin. It was hard for me to even get started, and then every step of the way, I feel like I was hitting little bumps in the road. I think if I was to summarize how this went, is that it kind of felt like I was walking through mud that was starting to dry. And that's another reason why this video is so late. It took me a while to figure out how to even do the ritual. I just couldn't think of the right steps, ingredients, components that sat right with me for a while. So it really delayed getting the ritual started in the first place. And another thing that was different is that this ritual was the first ritual that I did for any of the sins where I was asking for assistance from my dragon guardians as well as dragon elementals. I really felt like I needed their support with this just because it felt so difficult to do it on my own. And I don't think I've been able to say that in a long time. So I'm really proud of what I came up with and how the ritual took place. And I also didn't use any candle magic. But if you know me, I love candle magic. You will never catch me without a candle in my possession. And I guess I should have probably rephrased that differently, because now you're probably going to run into me and expect me to pull a candle out of my pocket, and that's not what I meant. But anyways, that's my go-to. My go-to is candle spells, candles in ritual, like practically always. This ritual did not have no candle, nor did I feel the need for one. It was basic, just use the incense that I created for the sin. And then I went into my astral sanctum, into my ritual room, and I called upon the dragons. And that's how we birthed Drege, which is the name of the sin of greed. And yeah, I know, so original, right? Just flipping around the letters. I just kept that part simple. I did the same with the last two sins, so I was like, why bother changing that up? No need to overcomplicate this already more than I already did. So yeah, so we created Drege, we birthed Drege, I should say. We formed him with our hands and dragon fire. And it was a beautiful process. And I think that's all I want to share about the ritual. I also found myself really gravitating towards the color pink and teal. Now, teal shouldn't come as a surprise, because even though my hair is bluer now, it has been teal for a while. So it's one of my favorite colors. And when I thought about the sin of greed, at first I thought green, but I kept on thinking green with envy. So for me, no, that's more envy. And with greed, I did think gold, which I do still associate with it. But I kept thinking teal, teal, teal. And then pink showed up out of nowhere, probably about the third week into the Witches Black Lent, which that's why my nails are teal and pink right now. But I thought that was really odd, because I don't have a loving relationship with the color pink. I would even go as far as to say that I hated the color pink most of my young life. Not that I'm old now, but you know, when I was a child and a teenager, I despised pink. I didn't want to wear it. The most you would ever see me wearing pink would be in my hair, just because I thought it was okay since it's wild hair color. It's not accepted. So if it's pink, that's the only way I want to wear it. I know, my brain. But yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing pink. And all of a sudden, I started really liking the color pink. And I'm like, what is this? What does this have to do with greed? And so, yeah, colors associated with the sin are teal and pink for me, as well as gold, and maybe even some rose gold. I would go as far as to say that. And then something that I was very, very surprised to see unfold is as soon as the ritual was over, like that same day is what I'm trying to say. Not like as soon as the ritual was over, but that same day that I did the ritual, I started feeling a call from a male or male presenting to me deity. And that is very unlike me as well. So male and pink, obviously those two things seem like they don't go together, but the fact that I wasn't, those two things would go together in the Venn diagram of things that I'm least likely to want to touch. Those two things would be touching there, right? In that category. The examples I'm trying to give. So the fact that they showed up there to me was odd, but also beautiful, and told me how much the sin agreed was going to be helping me bring into my life. But for me, it had to do a lot with taking as much time as I needed, taking the resource that I needed for myself unapologetically. Like, that was a huge part of it. Literally made me take my time, even though it made me feel uncomfortable, because I wanted to be on top of the ball. I wanted to be a good student and have the videos up every week like they were supposed to be and on time, right? That's what I wanted to do, because that would make me look good and obedient, and like I said, a good student. And I think that this sin, that's another reason why it took so long, apart from the fact that it was something that I was really working through. It was because it was trying to push me to be selfish and greedy enough to take the time that I needed, despite what it may look like to other people. And that was a hard one, right? So every time I delayed making the video another day and another day, I stopped feeling guilty and began feeling empowered by it.